What's up guys? What's up guys? We're here with another Yoga Flow video for the Mobility Wizard program. So make sure you got a nice clear space around your yoga mat, and we'll begin with down dog. So starting in down dog, obviously this is for mostly upper body, so do what you feel, but try to get a nice deep stretch in your back. You're focusing on the upper back here. Oh, this mat is so dirty. Remember, on the inhales, you're pulling, drawing stability, and on the exhales, getting deeper into that stretch. Try to make sure that your breath is nice and measured. And now the next thing, going onto your knees. If your mat is dirty, you can wipe it off a little bit. You can wipe it off a little bit, and then draw your shoulders back, and you just put your hands on your butt and pull back in your shoulders. So you should feel this in the back of your shoulders and your scapula. Holding here. Keep holding it. Just give you guys a better shot here. Next one, I think, is, child's pose. So going right into child's position. So we're going to hold from here, try to get nice and low to the ground, and pull your hands further away from your body. We're trying to target the upper back here, shoulders, rhomboids. And so from here, we're going to go into a child's pose side stretch. So crawling your hands until one hand is on the corner of the mat, and then just relaxing into that side body. You can drop the head. Relax, last breath. Out, and then on the inhale, you crawl your hands back. Exhale once, in the middle. Same thing on the other side. Make sure you have enough space. Oh, this side is tighter. Remember guys, on the inhale, you back off a little bit, and on the exhale, you want to really push into that stretch. And you don't even have to push, really, just release and relax. Breathe in and out. And on the next breath in, crawling your hands back to child's position. And now we're going to go into a couple cat-cows. So this is going to be a tabletop sort of almost like a circuit for your wrists. This next part, these next few flows are going to be, we're going to focus on all the muscles that we worked in our U1 day of Willy Wizard. So exhale, you're pushing up through your back muscles and tucking the tailbone. And then cow, you're doing the opposite. So remember, this all starts from the hips. You're curving your hips and everything else just follows through after. So join me in cat. Do the hold cat. I like to hold cat. Cat and cow is really nice because you really just work your whole spine flexion. It's really nice for your back. You're doing a good service to your back, but holding cow as well. Or sorry, this is cat. For a couple breaths always feels nice. So now, you can do this in tabletop or a slight cat bend. We're just going to rotate our arms around. We're going to do 6 on each side. So 5, 6. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you flip your arms around. 1, 2. Really try to get a nice feeling in the tops of your hand and your wrist. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to go back to the start, except our hands are inverted. So knuckles facing the ground. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Super nice on the wrist, super important to take care of your wrists. A lot of people, they don't stretch out their wrists enough, and you can build up a lot of tension, right? Because, you know, with pull day especially, but really with a lot of exercise, especially if you start using weights, or you have a physical job, your wrists can get really beat up. So that's almost more of an intense stretch, but I like to do that anyways. And now we're going to move on to the bicep. So just from tabletop cow, or cat I mean, you just put your hand back until it hits the ground, and then just lean into it. You should feel a nice stretch through that bicep there. If you're not feeling it as much, you can straighten your back a little bit more, go more into more of a tabletop. Switch hands. Great stretch for your elbow. You know, we're building up a lot of straight arm strength and bent arm strength in this program, so it is important to stretch out the muscles in both ways. The stretching routine is pretty thorough in this program though, so as long as you're watching the whole video, it's all good. And then, so we're going to go for a lat stretch, so threading the needle, but keeping our back straight, and then pulling through to that side, to the side that your arm is on. Other side, nice and straight, and then pulling through. Ooh. Nice. So come back onto your knees, shake it out a little bit. We're just gonna do one vinyasa, just coming down, up into downward dog on the inhale, and then exhale back to downward dog. Feel free to do some more vinyasa flows here if you feel like you have some energy. And then now we're going to go into quick back extension. So we're going to start just by laying on the floor and just bringing our neck up into cobra. So you want to really plant your hips here, plant your hands. You're just coming through your upper back. You should feel a really nice stretch in your mid back here. Exhale, come back down. Now this time you can do the same one cobra again, or you can bring your arms and your legs up with you this time for more. This is more of a strengthening of your posture. This is locust. Should feel still a nice stretch in your lower back here. Exhale, come back down. And now any of the variations, but I'm going to do the most advanced one here, which is bringing your feet all the way up to your hands, catching your toes, and then pushing through your legs. You want to have your legs be, the goal is to have them be parallel with the walls. So you're really kicking through your legs and letting yourself get a nice stretch in your upper back. Steady your breath. Look forward. Getting a nice stretch in my chest and my upper back, between my scapula, and exhale. So now, upward facing dog. Inhale and exhale to downward facing dog. Nice. So now we're going to go to a bit of a twist. So coming onto our butts, just laying down on our mat. You can do it parallel with your mat too. I just wanted to get a better angle here. So coming up 90 degrees with the legs, arms out to your side, and you just so it's important you want to keep your opposite shoulder planted. It's more important for your shoulder to be planted than for your knees or your legs to be both touching the ground. One of my favorite stretches. Exhale. Next inhale, you bring your legs up to center, and exhale on the other side. If you want for this stretch as well, if you can plant both your opposite shoulder and leg firmly, take your neck and twist your head the opposite direction. Exhale, inhale, bring your knees up, and we're going to go up and back into our tabletop position. This is called the quadruped stretch. So retaining a nice tabletop, flat back, you're going to take your elbow and flare it up. So we really want to keep our hips locked here. This is a thoracic stretch, so just the upper body. So we're pushing down here on our hip, opening up through our upper body. exhale, other side. And exhale, back to tabletop. So now we're just going to finish it off with 2 more stretches here. Maybe I'll make it 3, but so we're gonna do a quick eagle pose now. So taking your arms out and in front of you, you're looping the bottom one under and around, and you're trying to clasp your hands. So starting like this, you want to take your arms and try to have them out, just straight out in front of you like this. And once you have that, you should be feeling a nice stretch in your back just from this. But the next step is to take your leg, and you always can remember this by the same leg and the same one, but like the same side, the leg is going over, the arm is going under. You want to wrap that leg around, and you'll be more stable the more you can sit down into it. Remember, when you're here, guys, you still want to have your arms straight out in front of you at that 90-degree angle. That's where it's going to be the most stretch. So we'll move on to the other side, starting with the upper body. So right arm under and around, trying to get that clasp. And then once you have that, pushing it out 90 degrees in front of you. And then same leg goes over, wraps around, and you try to sit as far down as you can. Remember, you'll be more stable the further down you can make it. Oh. Remember, today is more important to just keep your arms in that steady position there, because we're really trying to stretch out the back. The legs are just going to help us get a more intense twist on the spine. So release. Now coming down onto our backs, we're going to work on our plow. So we start by pushing our hands into the mat and kicking up into the air. So this is the first step, right? If you can't do this, then you can come up to the wall and work on just having your feet up the wall, and eventually getting the core stability just to hold this. So from here, remember, stability from your arms pushing against the ground. And then we're going to kick back and just slow and controlled. You don't want to slam your feet on your floor, just coming back into plow. So this is really like very similar to a forward fold or an L-sit position, where you're really more trying to feel a stretch in the backs of our legs and our knees. So what I like to do is flex my foot flexor leg. I'm bringing my big toe to my knees and then pushing through the heels. And you know, some people can only go so far with plow. Hopefully you're warmed up enough that you can get right into it. I know in the mornings when I'm stiff, I can't even get right into plow. So take your time with this one. It took me a while to get it. Feels weird at first, but it really is one of the best stretches for your back. And your back deserves it too if you've been doing U1. It's not easy. And release. So coming back up and vertebrae by vertebrae, just giving your back a nice roll out. Back down. So feel free to stay here in Shavasana. I know my knees are kicked up here, but feel free to stay there for as long as you want. If you have the time, please do. When you're ready, can come up into seated or kneeling or even standing up. And we're just going to do a simple prayer stretch. This is going to mentally just lock in our practice and give a nice final stretch to the wrists, which we worked hard today. So I want you to hold this for a few breaths while we seal in our practice. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There'll be more content coming, so keep your eyes and ears peeled. Thanks again. Peace. Nice. I hope we got audio.